Second stage of Haki. Haki, a definitely new set of power added on to the already existing power in the One Piece story when it comes to the fruits and the crazy powers of that. And I definitely want to say it kind of was like the yin and yang on the whole situation of balancing the powers, and Rayleigh pretty much explained it really well at the time skip. Now, we have seen some things that made us question, and I will say he explained the basics pretty well, and I will discuss the basics in this video, of course. Until then, I will go to the second stage, but still, a lot of questions I have for the next level of Haki, because with awakening of fruits, there's definitely going to be a next level of Haki, and we've already seen the next level of Haki when it comes to the recent manga chapters. Anime onlys, you will definitely be hyped to see this character. So, and now recently with the last couple of chapters, it's been highlighting that Hakis will go to new heights, and it'll be amazing. Monkey D. Dragon. You're probably thinking, why was Monkey D. Dragon on the thumbnail, Mac? Well, why would you put this character on the thumbnail? Well, honestly, I feel like Monkey D. Dragon is one of those characters who, if Haki secrets are going to be revealed, he's going to be one of them to actually reveal these secrets. The fact that he's in his prime, and the fact he's going up against the world government, the world's most wanted man, he might have a fruit that's going to be hacks, but I definitely think he has a next level Haki, and we might have seen some next level Conquerors Haki modes for him, like we seen when he had the situation of helping Luffy out on Logtown, the whole wind craziness and the whole lightning craziness to help Luffy. Now, do I think that was him? I'm not too sure. I'm honestly not too sure, but if it was revealed to be him, some sort of crazy Conquerors Haki or maybe a fruit ability, I'm not too sure, that would be understandable. I also think that the whole situation of him helping out ASL flashback, saving them, the fire, taking it out with his wind, there's definitely something intriguing by Monkey D. Dragon. Some people said it was just his wings of his fruit, Mythical Zoan. Honestly, I think there might have been something crazy about this Conquerors Haki of Dragon. And then there's Shanks, who, unlike Dragon, it's not really speculation. This is facts that Shanks is the only, I think, or the first character to actually physically damage a actual object with his Conquerors Haki. He damaged the Moby Dick Whitebeard's ship, and I definitely want to say that was very impressive in my opinion, because it's not just any old ship, it's a Yonko ship. He actually damaged it with his Conquerors Haki. It was creaking and everything, so I definitely want to say respect to Shanks. And this definitely makes me, after I saw this, I was like, okay, there's definitely gonna be some new stuff to Haki. The fact that he's physically damaging a ship with not even touching it so physically. So I definitely want to say that was very cool. I also want to say the clash that they had. Yes, I'll talk about this really quickly. Whitebeard and Shanks had a clash, and we've seen other clashes in the story, but the fact that their clash actually split the skies, we've never seen that. The clouds were splitting pretty much. That shows how great of a clash it was between these two Yonkos. I loved it. Now, I'm first going to discuss Observation Haki and the basics of Observation Haki. The basics pretty much of Observation Haki is feeling another presence in an elevated degree, and we've seen this countless times in the One Piece story, and let's just talk about some of the times we've seen it in the actual One Piece story. Now, if you are able to master, you can actually see enemies that are hidden, objects that are hidden. Well, I'm not too sure about objects, but I know you can see enemies that are hidden, and you can actually see how many enemies are on an island of some sort. We've seen this when Rayleigh did that on the post-time skip island, I forgot the name, where Luffy and Rayleigh were training. Rayleigh can count how many animals were on the island because of his Observation Haki. We also know characters like Fujitoro, who's actually blind, but moves better than people who actually can see in the One Piece world, so we know his Observation Haki must be scary. And then we have Luffy at Fishman Island, where he sends Caribou. That's a pretty funny moment. And we also have Enel. Enel's a character which he combines his Delph Fruit and his Observation Haki to do some crazy things on that island. So crazy stuff happen, or crazy stuff when it comes to the power of Observation Haki. But on most cases, when it comes to Observation Haki, it's usually used to read what the opponent's gonna do next. It's pretty much like you're predicting what the opponent's gonna do. We first seen this when it was called Mantra on Sky P. If you guys don't remember, I think you guys remember Mantra. We saw the little girl, I believe her name was Isa. I'm not too sure what her name was, but she had the power of Mantra, and it was crazy. Enel was pretty much the craziest one using the power of Mantra. We also have the Boa sister, in which she was able to predict Luffy's moves, and Amazon Lily. Crazy stuff, and that's where we mostly seen the basics of Observation Haki. Armament Haki. Now, you know what's funny about Armament Haki? Usually I say Armament Haki, but I recently found out it's called Armament Haki with the M, which was very crazy. I was shocked to see that, but I was saying it wrong the whole time. But if you guys want to know the basics of Armament Haki, it's pretty much an invisible armor, and that's pretty crazy, invisible armor, because having armor itself is amazing, but having armor that people can't even see, litty. We also know that the stronger the armor, the stronger the power, so the basis of Armament Haki is Obviously, stronger the Haki, the stronger your power, and we've seen this on countless occasions in the New World. One of the greatest assets of having Armament Haki is dealing with Logia fruit abilities. We know that Logia powers, they used to think they're untouchable, nobody can do anything to them. We remember situations with Aokiji, Crocodile, and Naru. With Crocodile and Naru, Luffy did use some ways to get through their Logia abilities, but Smoker was the biggest trouble for Luffy. Like, Smoker kept on getting Luffy, even though Crocodile and Enel were stronger than Smoker in my opinion. Luffy could never get through to Smoker because of that Devil Fruit ability in which he could not get through, which he found ways with Enel and Crocodile, but he had no ways with Smoker. Armament Haki, when he found out, he was shook, like, okay, that's how I get through Smoker. And the ability of Armament Haki, pretty much these liquefied Logia Devil Fruit abilities, they get to solidified states and you can put in damage. Another crazy thing you can do with Armament Haki is actually adding it to your weapons. We know we've seen this when it comes to Amazon Lily. I remember the first time we saw Amazon Lily, they used to have the bow and arrows, and they were shooting Haki'd arrows against Luffy when he was doing he was causing havoc on Amazon Lily, doing what Luffy does best, cause havoc. But we also see this when it comes to swordsmen, and we saw Mihawk when he was training Zoro, telling Zoro that you have to put your blade with Armament Haki because that's how you don't get a chipped blade. Having a chipped blade for a swordsman is very embarrassing, and that's when Zoro was like, okay, let's go, because Zoro in the past, we had that Rust dude who rusted his sword. Zoro has broken his swords multiple times. It was Mihawk broke his sword in Bartier, so that was very crazy. And then we also have another big situation I want to talk about is Virgo. Virgo also did use Armament Haki on his bamboo stick, which is very crazy. Virgo was one of the better Armament Haki users, but he's sometimes overhyped. That's another video. You know what? I said it was another video, but let's just discuss it right now. Full body Armament Haki. This is a very crazy concept of Armament Haki and a very controversial concept of Armament Haki. Now, we know in the One Piece fan base, a lot of people are half and half when it comes to our full body Armament Haki. Now, me personally, I feel like full body Armament Haki is very overhyped, dude. This is very overhyped. People put this to the next level. But you know what's funny about full body Armament Haki? It really hasn't taken a huge W. Think about it. The first time we see Virgo use it in the current timeline, he uses it and Law gets by his full body Armament Haki. Now, people say that Law did not use Haki, he just uses Devil Fruit ability. That would be extremely false because Doflamingo says, Law, your Virgo's Haki is strong enough to get through your Devil Fruit ability. And we see Doflamingo and Dressrosa use crazy Armament Haki to get through Law's Devil Fruit ability. And we see Smoker and Punk Hazard tell Tashigi, your Armament Haki is not strong enough to get through Law's ability. So pretty much, if you have a strong enough Armament Haki, you can get through Law's ability. Doflamingo confirmed that he had a strong enough Armament Haki to get through his ability. Virgo used full body Armament Haki and he couldn't get through Law's ability, showing that full body Armament Haki was kind of overhyped to people. People thought it was crazy when really it wasn't. Like, if you have a stronger Haki, you can get through it. I feel like Law had a stronger Haki than Virgo and combining his Devil Fruit ability. And when it comes to Zoro versus Pika, Pika was another character that used full body Armament Haki. Pika got wrecked by Zoro, and Zoro pretty much said it to everybody in the One Piece story, the One Piece fan base, my Haki is stronger than yours. He told Pika, my Haki is stronger than yours. It doesn't matter about your full body Armament Haki, and he cut him. So I feel like if your Haki is stronger than the character who has full body Armament Haki, they can get through you. Ain't no big deal. And that's just my opinion. People think I'm stupid. People call me crazy for saying this, but honestly, I'm gonna stick to it till I get debunked by the One Piece story. Something that happens in the One Piece story that debunks me. I'm sticking through the whole situation of Haki greater than Haki. Yo, and I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Now, we talked about Observation Haki. We talked about Conqueror's Haki, but let's get to Conqueror's Haki. But sometimes, I'll be honest here, people get angry at me, but I don't really like to call it Conqueror's Haki. I like to call it King's Haki. People say, yo, call it Conqueror's Haki. For me, personally, I like to shorten it down and call it King's Haki. And we know King's Haki is the very rarest shown Haki when it comes to the people having it. It's really shown with prominent characters, huge characters in the story. And let's be honest here, we've seen that you can really overpower opponents' wills. Now, we do know that mostly King's Haki is used against fodder. We've seen this many times where you can knock out crazy amount of fodder. One of the biggest moments was when Luffy knocked out, I think, 50,000 fishmen on Fishman Island, which was crazy. And in an interview, Oda said that Rayleigh and Shanks had the power to knock out all 100,000. Very crazy stuff in my personal opinion. Now, a very recent concept in the One Piece story is the clash of King's Haki. We've seen this in some cases. Don Chinja versus Luffy, Doflamingo versus Luffy, Garp versus Don Chinja. We've seen moments where clashes of Conqueror's Haki. And I talked about how Shanks was the first character to do actually damage physical objects projects with his Conqueror's Haki. We've seen in these clashes, there's crazy amount of wind, and there's crazy amount of sometimes electricity. There's crazy amount of weird stuff happening in these clashes, and it's crazy. I'm telling you right now, this is another situation of we're gonna get more on when we see two Conquerors Kings going at it. My personal opinion, I think that Blackbeard and Luffy at the end of the whole final war is gonna have a crazy clash between their Conqueror's Haki, and it's gonna be like the final moment. It'll be crazy seeing both their final moves and then their Conqueror's Haki. I would love it. It's definitely a very cool concept, the clash of two kings going at it. Now I do gotta tell you guys this: you can train this power. You can only make this power stronger by individual personal growth. So we seen in an interview why Oda said that Luffy can only take out 50,000 while Shanks and Rayleigh could take out 100,000. He's pretty much saying that their Conqueror's Haki is on another level through their experience in the world, and Luffy got to get more experience in the new world to get that Conqueror's Haki to a whole nother level. Now when it comes to Oz Vision Haki, there's not a lot to actually speculate because it was recently introduced, spoiler alert if you're an anime only, but it was recently introduced that Katakuri, Rayleigh Katakuri, the second son of Big Mom, a sweet commander, pretty much the vice captain of the Yonko Big Mom, this character has been able to actually see a little bit into the future, see a little bit of time, and like I said, I've always said that time manipulation is probably the next step of actual Oz Vision Haki. We've seen Lucky Root do some next level stuff. We've seen Shanks do some next level stuff when it comes to Marineford coming there out of nowhere after clashing with Kaito. I think time manipulation could have been a factor, though I'm not too sure if it's going to be revealed like that. Luffy wants that power. Luffy wants that power, and the next stage of Oz Vision Haki just makes sense for it to be seeing a little bit into the future, because we always knew that predicting, we've seen the way he was predicting. As soon as I saw Enel Montero, like you knew that Oz Vision Haki probably would have to lead to something like that. Now, we know Katakuri kind of revealed the next level of Oz Vision Haki, but I believe that a character to perfectly reveal the next level of Armament Haki is Kaito. Kaito is the strongest creature alive, and we always know in a lot of battles, Armament Haki is probably one of the biggest deciding factors of showcasing who's stronger. Like, I will tell you guys right now, when I saw Big Mom easily clash with a Kong gun, which a Kong gun has done heavy damage to characters like Luffy, Katakuri, it's been crazy. The fact that she easily clashed with it just showcases how powerful her Armament Haki is and why she's a Yonko. Yonko's Armament Haki had to be next level, and I believe that Kaito, him being the strongest creature alive, his Armament Haki probably is the best of all of them. Maybe Shanks is above, I'm not too sure, but still, I believe he's the perfect character to reveal the next level, the next stage of Armament Haki. It's just my opinion on that. But I do want to say, next stages of Armament Haki, in my opinion, maybe something like Shockwaves. Whenever Rayleigh blocked that attack by the elephant in the actual time skip moment, I believe that always got feelings of Shockwaves, or maybe something maybe similar to the Force. Yes, I'm talking about Star Wars here. I know the new Star Wars coming out, but still, I've always said that Ichiro Oda is a big fan of Star Wars. Ichiro Oda, the guy who made One Piece, so some Star Wars effective stuff when it comes to Armament Haki, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, the second stage of Haki has me at the edge of my seat. I kind of like calling it Awakening of Haki because it just awakening proves that it makes sense to me, but still, the next stage, we know Rayleigh recently in the last couple of chapters revealed that as you get stronger in these battles and as you fight these battles, extreme battles at that, your Haki grows and grows. So I just want to say, Luffy having these extreme battles, and now Luffy's about to get into an extreme battle with Katakuri. We're going to see the next stage of Haki for Luffy for the first time ever, and we're going to see more and more about Haki in the future. So there's definitely a lot of teasing that Oda's doing, but I can't wait. The story is going to crazy heights. Maybe we'll finally be revealed why Rayleigh's name is Dark King. There's got to be a reason why he was the one who has to thoroughly explain Haki to Luffy and too much to the audience at that. Rayleigh has been the teacher of Haki for the audience of One Piece. Us, we guys who are watching it, we've been getting taught by Rayleigh. So the Dark King maybe has to do with Armament Haki. Maybe he was the greatest Armament Haki user of all time. Who knows? I just want to say that Rayleigh has me thinking, there's something that we don't know about this dude. You know what I'm saying? But tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about the second stage of Haki? We think there's gonna be more second stages of Haki, or Katakuri was the only thing we're gonna see? I want to ask you guys this because I love reading you guys' comments. Like and share if you enjoyed. Like and share only if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.